Welcome back everyone. Good morning. My name is Zia and this is Chasing the Moon. I make videos now about, rather than full-time nomad life, although I have a lot of videos on that you can go back and look at. I make videos now about living the rest of my life out as a solo senior woman and living the best possible life I can. And today I want to talk to you about something that I just came across called the treasure years. And then I'm going to share with you 3 habits that can change and prolong your life. 3 small habits that you can change. One of them you're probably not going to be surprised by. 2 of them I think you're going to be very surprised by. So stick around and watch to the end to hear what all those habits are. But first I want to share with you something that was written by a British actress who recently passed away. Her name was Patricia Rutledge. She was in a series, a sitcom in the UK that ran for 5 years, and it was called Keeping Up Appearances. And she wrote this. I believe it was written not long before she passed away, and I'm just going to read what she wrote. This is only part of it, but it really did strike me. So this is by Patricia Rutledge. I'm writing to tell you something simple. Growing older is not the closing act. It can be the most exquisite chapter if you let yourself bloom again. Let these years ahead be your treasure years. I love that phrase, your treasure years. You don't have to be famous. You don't need to be flawless. You only need to show up fully for the life that is still yours. And when I thought about that phrase, the treasure years, I thought there have been many moments in my life that I've treasured. Moments with my children, with my parents and friends and other family members, with my grandchildren. There have been many moments that I've treasured. But I'm finding that the moments I'm living right now may be becoming some of the most joyous and fulfilling of my life in a different way than in the past. So I'm going to share with you these 3 small habits. Now I mentioned, I don't think it was last week's video, I think it was the video the week before. I mentioned that I had watched something on YouTube, and I am going to leave a link to it below. I watched something on YouTube that really struck me, and it has moved me enough to make me make these changes in my life. And they are making a difference already, and it's only been a few weeks. So I hope you'll stick with me. Here we go. This is habit number 1. And as I said, I don't think you're going to be surprised by it, but hear me out, okay? Habit number 1, move your body. I know, exercise, we all know that, but I'm not talking about, especially at the age I am now, and I think many of you, my viewers, are at the age we're at now. I'm not talking about, jogging or going on a 5K or even doing a 1-hour aerobics class or whatever they're doing nowadays in classes. I'm well beyond that. But I am talking about moving your body. And the YouTube video that I listened to, the creator of this YouTube channel had condensed the findings of 50, I think it was 53, don't hold me to that, I think it was around 53 of the world's top health and well-being experts accredited authors, physicians, specialists in their fields. These were the condensed 3 habits that they suggested. And of course, moving your body is one of them. Our bodies are meant to move. Some of the systems in our body don't even work if we don't move, like our lymphatic system. The lymph in your body only circulates, only moves if you move your body. So this is what they said. And so what I do, as some of you know, if I'm watching something that's starting to really resonate with me, I start making notes. And by the time the video has finished, I decide whether that's something I think is worth sharing with you. And I really, really think this is worth sharing with you. All they're recommending is that you do 30 minutes, maybe 5 times a week, of an exercise that increases your heart rate. Now, for me right now, it doesn't take much to increase my heart rate because I was very sedentary through the winter. And I'm just going to segue a little bit here just to fill you in. The past year, since I got very sick a year ago, exactly a year ago, I didn't really regain the strength that I'd had before. And I became very sedentary, and because I didn't always have a fridge that was operational, I wasn't eating very well. I was eating a lot of processed foods. I was eating a lot of sandwiches and things that were easy. So I started to suffer some side effects from that. And I am now trying to build my physical strength and my health and well-being back up again. And as I said, these 3 habit changes are starting to do that for me. So they're suggesting 30 minutes, 5 times a week. At the moment, I have started going out for a daily walk. I miss the occasional day, but I'm trying to go out for a daily walk. And what I'm finding is that right now, because I've been so sedentary and I've had both knees and 1 hip replaced, I'm finding that after half an hour of walking, my hip starts to ache. And so if I only do 20 minutes, that's fine too. And then I will gradually increase it and build up the time on that. They suggest using resistance bands, anything isometric that will give extra power to the exercise that you're doing, they recommend. One of the things that I found is fabulous, especially if you've had joint replacements and things like that, is water exercises, aquafit classes, or even walking lanes in shallow pools at some of the aquatic centers. The resistance in the water has added benefits to the exercise, but it also is easier in water because you're supported and there isn't as much pressure on your joints. Now, I'm not an expert on this. Certainly before you go doing anything, talk to your doctor about what you should and shouldn't be doing. The only thing I know is that many years ago, I think I was around 39, I trained to be a fitness instructor. And we had to learn an awful lot about the body systems and how the body worked. And I've always had a fascination with that anyway. So I know that aquasize is a really good exercise. But if you can't afford classes like that, going for a walk a few times a week, half an hour if you can do that, and resistance bands for some arm strength is a really good thing for you to do. One of the experts, or here's another thing, when you're brushing your teeth, or if, like me, you don't have a dishwasher and you're standing at the sink doing dishes, stand on one leg, balance on one leg, balance on the other leg. Go back and forth, do a few sets of that, or while you're brushing your teeth. Because another thing, as you're aging, one of the most important things is to keep enough strength in your legs that you can balance. You don't lose your balance, so you reduce the risk of falls. And then having the strength that if for some reason you did fall, you would be able to get yourself back up again. So one of the experts said that a minimum of 2 times a week you need to lift weights. I'm not talking about the great big heavy things with the big weights on the end. Some 3 or 5 pound hand weights to get that arm strength again so you can get yourself up. But also this one expert said that you should be able, no matter what your age, you should be able to lift your own body weight. And I thought that sounded a little bit overwhelming, but apparently we should all be able to do that. And she said that every woman should be able to do 11 push-ups. There's not a chance in you know where that I could do 11 push-ups right now. But one of the suggestions was to start with wall push-ups. And you can find those exercises demonstrated for the correct position and amount of reps, and you can find that on YouTube. So start with wall push-ups. I have not started that yet, but I want to. I used to love doing a plank exercise. Look that up too if you don't know what it is. And I could hold myself up for well over a minute. Now that's not a lot, but it was pretty good for me, I thought. I don't think I could do that now, but I want to get back to that. So this is, as I said, move your body. As you get older, it's important to keep up your strength and to be able to maintain your balance. And it helps to move everything in your body. It helps to move everything in your body and keep your organs flushed with blood and your heart and your brain. And of course, walking, especially if you're walking outside, you're getting the fresh air and the benefits of nature too. So, habit number 1, move your body. Okay, the next 2 you're going to be surprised by, because I sure was. Habit number 2, put the phone down, or put your iPad down, whatever it is, technology that you have in your hand or with you all the time, put it down. And these are, again, the top experts in health and well-being around the world that are sharing this information. And of course, I'm referring to my notes as always, but they said here that the average person, now probably not at my age because I'm sort of in the last third, I hope I have that much left of my life, the average person will spend 20 years scrolling. I found that so shocking. I'm sure you do too. 20 years of your life spent scrolling videos of cute dogs or baby goats in onesie pajamas. I mean, think about what you could do with those 20 years. You're often left feeling anxious, especially with a lot of the things that we're seeing if we're on YouTube or Facebook or things like that these days. A lot of the information we're coming across leaves us feeling anxious and unfulfilled and disconnected. I recently heard, I don't know who he was, it was just saw a tiny bit of a video of a man who said that we were originally all tribal people. Now, maybe I've told you this before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I am 73. He said that we were originally all tribal people, and we weren't meant to know. We weren't built to deal with knowing everything that's going on everywhere in the world all the time. Knowing that there's been a catastrophic earthquake in Afghanistan, the kind of things that are going on in Gaza, the ice is melting, all these kinds of things. We weren't supposed to know this much information about everything, everywhere, all the time. So what happens when you remove your phone, when you give it a break, when you leave it aside, is that you start to feel more connected. You feel more connected to others, you feel more joy, and your health improves. They say that within 72 hours, your brain resets the impulse control for cravings, and it resets your dopamine and your serotonin levels, which we all know are the feel-good hormones, just within 72 hours. So what they're saying is, they're not saying don't ever be on your phone and don't look at the information that's coming up. They're just saying don't have your phone on you all the time. How many of you even take your phone if you're in your living room like I am now and you get up to go to the bathroom, say? Do you take your phone with you? I bet you do. I know I do a lot of the time, and I think, what am I going to miss in the few minutes I'm going to be in the bathroom? So don't have your phone on you all of the time. And I have to tell you, this is a little aside, but when I was traveling, when I was first doing my 4.5-month road trip, I found that I felt joyful and less anxious while I was traveling. And I realize now it's because I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't on my phone. I was in the moment. I was taking in the views I was coming across. I was interacting with people I was meeting. I was feeling joyful and much less anxious. And so that was a real light bulb moment for me, realizing the impact of not having my phone on all the time. So these experts are saying that your phone steals your energy and it steals your presence from your life, from yourself, and especially from your loved ones. Because you need to become present in your life by putting down technology. You know, when you are with friends, and I haven't broken this habit completely, but I have been trying to. If you go and meet a friend for coffee, and you sit down and you put your phone on the tabletop, without saying anything, your friend knows that that phone is more important. That if anything dings or beeps or rings on that phone, your attention will be taken away from your friend or your family member and will go to your phone. So it sends a subliminal message that they're not really the most important thing to you, that they don't have your complete attention and focus. That really struck me too. So you become present to life by putting down technology. And what happens is you'll get time back to do much more pleasurable things. You'll find yourself more focused, and you're going to be present for those around you. And that's pretty important. Okay, habit number 3, another one you're probably not going to be expecting, because when you think about the top experts in the world on health and wellness giving you 3 habits you can change, you don't expect some of these ones. So habit number 3, prioritize and strengthen relationships. They actually all said that the quality of your relationships, hear what I have to say now, the quality of your relationships will determine how long you live. That was another shocker for me, but it makes sense. It makes so much sense. And it also will determine how good you feel while you're living your life. Your relationships are the number one predictor of health, happiness, and longevity. So when you cultivate strong and supportive relationships, the biggest health benefit is physical. It reduces your risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. And why does it do that? It does that because relationships help you regulate stress. And stress is the biggest cause of health issues and disease. So when you're around supportive family or friends, and I have to emphasize supportive, because if you have relationships that are not supportive, that cause you stress in your life, it may be time for you to reconsider some of those relationships, even if they're family relationships. But when you're around supportive family and friends, it obviously, like I've just said, it relieves stress. You breathe easier, your shoulders relax, your feel-good hormones increase. I know this is true. There was a study done quite a few years ago at a university in Eastern Canada. It was a study on women, and they found that women's health improves if they have a good connection with other women. They have good supportive female friendships, that their serotonin and dopamine increase, and it's beneficial to their health. So I hope, like me, I feel very blessed with the friendships that I have. I hope you have some good ones too, and if you don't, I'm going to give you a tip on how to do that, because that's really important. Without the supportive family and friends, your stress hormones stay high, and your immune system eventually gets fried. The stress that you're trying to deal with on your own can fry your immune system, and this is where then disease comes into play. So we need to cultivate strong, healthy relationships. It is the biggest predictor of longevity. Loneliness is a wake-up call. And as a side note, again, another benefit of my traveling was the relationships that I developed. Now, by this stage of life, many of us are not making really any new friends, and we're even beginning to lose some friends. But from the year 2022 until, for the past 3 years, this sort of nomad years for me, I developed into seven new relationships with friends who are supportive, who share common interest, who I have really come to cherish and I love dearly. And I never would have thought that. I've probably made more friends in the last 3 years than I've made in, I don't know, I wouldn't say my whole lifetime, but this quality of friendship, maybe in my whole lifetime. I have some long-term friends, but probably I could count about the same number of those as the new ones that I have developed in the past 3 years. The interesting thing that I found out too, that this is true whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, and that talking to a stranger can actually make you feel good. And this is according to research, okay? So whether or not you're an introvert or an extrovert, what they're saying is whether or not you're an introvert or an extrovert, The outcome is going to be the same. It's going to be beneficial. So, how do you do that? A compliment or a smile at someone. Say when you're out for a walk, I always smile and say hello or hi or beautiful morning, something like that. And it usually gets returned. Not always. I've done that and had people walk by me as if I was a ghost. They totally didn't see me, acknowledge me in any way. But I think it was one of the experts came out with this little saying that nobody waves, but everybody waves back. So be the person who waves. Have you ever been out somewhere and you see someone waving and you don't know them, but you think they're waving at you, and you'll kind of tentatively wave back and then realize they're waving at someone else. But you will always wave back. So be the person that waves first. Be the person that makes the initial contact. How do you become the person who waves first? The first way to do that is to compliment strangers. Everywhere you go, break the ice. Often if I'm checking out groceries or I'm in a store in a lineup somewhere, I will compliment someone. I'll say, oh my goodness, your hair is a beautiful color, or I love that pin you're wearing, or that ring you have on, or what a beautiful scarf, it really looks lovely on you. And again, you don't know the impact that's going to have on that person's day either. They may be having a horrific day. You may change the course of their day. You may change the course of their life if you do something like that. Make them feel seen, make them feel lovely, valued, whatever. So break the ice. Compliment strangers everywhere you go. Number 2, be curious. Ask people about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. If they're wearing a t-shirt that represents a charity or something like that, say, oh my goodness, you're involved with such and such. Is that something that you've been doing for a long time? I don't know what you're going to say. It'll come to you when the moment arrives. But people do love to talk about themselves, so be curious about people. If you have broken the ice with someone, ask them a question about themselves. And number 3, smile and say hello to everyone, as I've already said. Everyone you pass or meet, and be warm and approachable. It's obviously a skill you have to practice, but it becomes a way of life. And when you do that, life opens up. And I can vouch for that. And I highly recommend that. This is how a lot of these new friendships and relationships started for me, by reaching out. So be the person who waves first. Choose connection. Choose connection for the sake of your longevity. Develop those relationships and the quality of them. So the bottom line here, is if you want to do better, these 3 simple habits, changing these 3 things in your life, because experts all agree you need to move your body, get off your phone, and make your relationships a priority. And that's it. That's it. So this is your health reset, okay? This is your health reset. These 3 simple steps. I believe that you can do this, and I want to be an example of that, and I am becoming an example of that. So I'll tell you what I've been doing. When I get up in the morning now, my usual habit is to take my phone from the bedside table, come out, make my coffee, sit down, And I don't go to scrolling right away. I usually sit and do a coloring page, something relaxing. So what I've been trying to do, and some mornings I don't, but I'm trying to change this habit. I'm trying to leave the phone in the bedroom, come out and make my coffee. I just bought myself an apple spice candle, so I light the candle. And I sit here facing my large window in my living room because I'm seeing some lovely fall color out here right now. And I sip my coffee and I start to smell the apple spice and I watch the daylight arrive. And I just sit and think. I think about the day that's coming, what I plan to do that day, being grateful for having another day to wake up to, and just give myself an hour before I will go and get my phone and check to see if I have emails or anything like that. I give myself an hour in the morning, and I'm trying to get in the habit of cutting off any kind of social media an hour before bedtime as well. And I think you'd probably sleep a lot better if we all did that. The other thing I've started doing is, as I said before, I'm going for a walk most days. They're saying try and go do something to increase your heart rate 5 times a week. I think I'm probably getting out 5 times a week, and it is making a difference to my energy levels. Another thing that I'm planning on doing, I was going to go back to walking lanes in the swimming pool, and you can do like sideways jumping jacks in the water, and you can move forward and you can go backwards, and you can just do the walking lanes or go back to an aquafit class. But financially right now, I decided I didn't want to spend the money on that. But what I am planning on doing is having my sister help me put together a rebounder that I got 2 years ago, but I haven't put it together yet. Well, I didn't have room in the bus. So she's going to help me put it together. I've got a Spotify playlist. If you don't know what rebounders are, they are small trampolines, and mine actually has like a handle that I can hold on to when I'm first getting started, so that I don't lose my balance. And I'm really looking forward to that, because in water or on a rebounder, I can move like I used to love dancing all the time. With all these new joints, I don't move as easily. And so I can do that in water, and I think I can probably do that on the rebounder too. So that's going to be fun. I've chosen some music that I love, and I'm going to do the rebounder. And I will, once I put it together, I will probably make a fool of myself and show you the rebounder and what I'm doing on the rebounder, and share some of the benefits of rebounding with you on a dedicated video. The other thing I'm doing, of course, is now that I have refrigeration all the time, and I have an oven and a stove and all of those amenities now, I am eating a lot better. I had blood tests done recently, and my doctor has given me 3 months to make some adjustments in my diet. And I'm taking some supplements, vitamin D, B12, a sublingual spray, and eating 1 Brazil nut a day, because it gives you all the selenium you need in a day. And look up the benefits of selenium for your health. It's quite amazing. 1 Brazil nut a day. One more thing I'm doing for myself is making sure that I drink a lot more water. And I'm finding my energy, because of these small changes I'm doing, my energy is coming back. Yeah, I'm just feeling better and better every day. And, you know, putting down my phone. So those are the simple things I'm doing, and spending more time with friends and with family. I've always done that anyway. And I think the quality of my friendships and my relationships are wonderful. And I'm going to continue to nurture those because it's one of the biggest predictors of longevity, and we all want that, right? I think that's going to be it for today. I saw that video, which I am going to link below for you so you can go and see it. And I do highly recommend that you go, even though I've given you kind of in a nutshell what the video is about. You will get to hear who the experts are and why they're saying what they're saying about changing these 3 habits. So I highly recommend you check out the link below and you watch this video. And so, wherever you are in our incredibly beautiful world, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope the week ahead is a great one for you. And I love you all so much. I'm going to say bye-bye for now, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Are these going to be your treasure years? I sure hope they're going to be mine. Thanks so much for watching. See you again soon.
Yesterday, there was sun